Hi guys, it's Jillian and welcome back to my channel. On my channel we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious business, relationships and everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stick along. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul. That person that knows they're here for big things, that know they have a mission on earth and want to do things their way, that are honestly not afraid to go against the grain and become and live their most authentic self in every way possible. And the person that wants to have it all, because we can have it all. So if that is you, then this is the channel for you. So if you want to subscribe. I would love to have you here as part of my soul fam. Now, today on this episode, we are going to be discussing why I kept myself in the spiritual closet for so long when building my business, when building my brand. And it's such an oxymoron because, you know, my audience, you guys will probably be thinking, well, what do you mean? Like, your brand is spiritual. Like, you know, you've always branded yourself as a spiritual therapist. You know, you offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul. But this was honestly an iteration. You know, I've had to go through many iterations with my spiritual business to get to a point, and I'm still going through it, to be honest with you. Like, I'm in the midst of doing a whole rebrand on my website, getting really clear on my vision, really clear on my why and what I'm here to help people with and why I'm so passionate about it. Like, when we go into business, especially as a soulpreneur, a spiritual entrepreneur, a healer, a psychic, anyone that has a soul-based or heart-based service business, a coach, whatever that is, then you will probably go through the very same thing. Like, where you probably started at the beginning of launching your business to where you are now and where you're going to be in another year's time will inevitably change because you're changing. And a lot of the trials and tribulations that I've had around my own identity and fully stepping into my business and my purpose without watering my spiritual stuff down has been honestly a real journey. And again, it's something that I'm continuing to do. So, like, as I said, when I first started to build my spiritual business, on my socials, I was focusing a lot on talking about content around relationships, and like there was spiritual elements in there for sure, stuff around past life, but I never went like real ham into the crazy spiritual stuff that I experience, how my gifts show up, what comes through within client sessions. All of that stuff I kept really watered down. And as I said, I'm going through this whole rebrand at the moment. I'm fully doing my website. I'm really anchoring these key stages of ascension that I have realized have been my spiritual path to my growth. And this is ultimately what I'm here to help people with. And this is really interesting when, you know, people in the business world, they say, oh, you got to find your niche, you got to niche down. And anytime that someone would say you have to niche, like pick a lane, is it business? Is it relationships? Is it spirituality? I would literally contract. My whole body would contract when someone is telling me to pick one lane, pick a niche. I'm a manifesting generator. So if you know anything about human design, that felt like hell to me. I wanted to like literally crawl out of my skin. So I guess the point is, where I've got to now in my business is that I've realized that my niche is actually a person. It is the person that's on their spiritual path. It is the person that wants to have all. The person that knows they have a big mission and a big purpose here on earth. They might not know what that is yet, but some of them do, and some of them are ready to move into their own soulpreneur journeys. And ultimately, that's who I'm here to serve, because that is me. Like, my client avatar is me. And the reason that I watered down my socials around spirituality and around this like path to spiritual ascension, and why I focused on elements of it that are part of my 3 stages of spiritual ascension, was because, again, I was still keeping myself in that spiritual closet. And the reason was because I was still identifying with an old version of me. When I really sat down and was like, even an iteration a year ago, there was part of me that knew I was here to serve like the spiritual entrepreneurs of the world, the star seeds, the light workers, the psychics, the mystics, the healers, like all the things that I am, I had a huge resistance to saying that that's who I was serving, to really being out there spiritually. And like and this was only quite recently that I've come to fully realize as I'm going through this whole rebrand of my business, is that I was keeping myself in the spiritual closet because I'm like, who was I afraid to ostracize? Who in my life was I afraid that was gonna criticize me, judge me, like ostracize, like, and this is what many of us do, especially if we're soul-based entrepreneurs or healers or whatever. Like, we have these ingrained identities and beliefs that we are maybe too much, or the people around us aren't ready for our true essence and our true nature and our true gifts and our true level of spiritual wisdom. And we feel that either we're going to be judged or ostracized, or maybe we're going to ostracize them. Like, we have lots of different programmings and beliefs. And when I really sat down with mine, I'm like, what was I afraid of to really put out there that these are my people? These are actually who I'm here to serve, because these are me. And why was I afraid to do that? And why was I afraid to really start talking about all of the super crazy stuff that comes through within sessions or that I've experienced? And it was because when I really sat down with that, it was that I was afraid to ostracize some of my friends, some of the people that knew my old identity, some of the people that were on my Instagram that were my audience, who again fell into that friend category of, I guess, my old identity. And then that goes hand in hand with my old identity around my old business. So for those of you that don't know, I used to own my another business, which was a digital media marketing and technology recruitment company. So I had that for about 7.5 years that I launched and grew with a business partner at that point. And we were a boutique, so we had about 10 or 11 staff. And I grew that from scratch. Like, I moved to Australia, I moved from the UK, I moved to a brand new country. I had no contacts, no experience in building a business. I was just an amazing recruiter and really good in my industry and my niche, which was digital advertising and ad tech. And very naively, we moved. I borrowed like 250 grand from an old boss of ours, and we naively moved to Australia, and they're like, yeah, we can set up this business. Thankfully, we did, and we did it very successfully. And we were profitable from year one and continued to be profitable and grow the business, which is so unheard of. But again, this was very naive. Like, I came here at the end of 2014, and again, very naively, we built this business. So my old identity was very much within that kind of, although we weren't corporate, we were very boutique, we were very very open and funky, as you can probably tell. Like, uniqueness was a big thing that I wanted to integrate with all of my team. And it's like, come as you are, like, you are a unique person. I don't want you to be coming in a suit or anything. Like, we're dealing with like creatives, we're dealing with amazing brands, agencies. Like, I worked with some of the top brands and agencies and publishers and tech companies in the world within my agency, and worked with some amazing thought leaders within their space, within technology, within future advertising and marketing. And like, it was a very innovative space to be in. But as open and free as I allowed like the team to dress and myself and all of that stuff, like, we were again still very like cool and casual and unique. Can I say that? Cool. That's my own interpretation of like, I was cool. I was a cool boss. Probably wasn't. But like, I still had an identity that was ingrained within being like within the corporate world and dealing with, I guess, as like, my clients were probably the least corporate, as you can imagine, but it was still corporate. I was still dealing with the business world every single day. I was dealing with this multinational brands, international brands, CEOs, MDs, sales directors, marketing directors, high level people. And I still realized that I wasn't fully expressing all of my spiritual side because I still had a bit of a an identity and a container around who I was in business, because I spent 11 years within that industry and 7.5 running my own business. Like, I was so ingrained to how to show up. And, although I did manage to speak spirituality and conscious reprogramming and all of that amazing stuff with some of my clients in my old industry, it is not to the extent that I go to now with my clients, obviously, because everything that I do is channeled and comes through, and we go into past lives and future lives and galactic stuff. Like, there's so much things that come through within all of my client sessions that are just like out of this world for so many people. And the reason that I really watered myself down when I started this business was because I was still stuck in that identity, and I hadn't fully accepted that that's my path, and that's the spiritual people that are on the spiritual path, that are on this healer's path, that are on this path to ascension. Those are the people that I'm here to serve. I was trying to fit in and water myself down to fit in with everyone else, and try to fit in with the friends that used to know me in that identity, with my old work clients that used to know me in that identity. And I was like, that identity is no longer me. Like, I am a different person. I am an ascended person. Like, everything that I do revolves around spirituality, revolves around connecting with ourselves, connecting with intuition, connecting with higher beings, like all of it. And I haven't fully expressed that out within my marketing, within my socials, until now. Because this is something that I realized as I'm going through this rebrand. And as I'm really anchoring in like my why and my mission, and why I could never really connect to my own niche, it's because like it was a type of person that I'm here to serve, not a particular area. Although the areas that I do specialize in are my 3 steps to ascension. So in my life, and what I've channeled is really my mission, and why I've wanted to help in all of these different areas is because that is the road to true ascension and true fulfillment. Like, the first stage is knowing yourself, is to know yourself deeply, is to heal, is to activate your spiritual gifts, because we all have spiritual gifts. And like, this is where my first spiritual awakening happened. It was in 2012 after the breakdown of a relationship. And I was propelled into starting to study mysticism and go to a psychic school and learn Reiki and energy healing and past life regression and like all of these things that I've studied over the last like 11 years. That was my catalyst to really going in and trying to understand myself at a deep level, because I realized through the breakup of that relationship that I was like, I didn't know myself at all. Like, who I thought I was completely contradicting who the person that I was behaving like in that relationship, or what was coming up, or my triggers or whatever. So like, that is the first stage of spiritual ascension, is coming to a point in your life where you've had a trigger or a catalyst where you're like, I really need to heal myself. I need to learn who I am. And that comes through opening your spiritual gifts. For me, it came through my developing my psychic abilities. That's where it started with me. And that's why I've created this group program, which is exactly that. It is developing your psychic abilities, but a lot more than that. We're clearing blocks. We're going into energy healing. We're going to past lives. We're going through all of it. This is the first stage of spiritual ascension. And the second stage of spiritual ascension is around healing your heart, healing your relationships, and learning the relationship skills. Like, when we get to know ourselves, the next step of our evolution is to heal all of our relationships. Like, because without opening our heart, we can't truly live our purpose. You know, we can't truly be of service to the world and live our purpose and be prosperous if we haven't healed our relationships, if we haven't healed our heart. And this is why relationships was such a big thing for me when I first started my spiritual business, of why I really wanted to help people, because I'd gone through such an awakening with my relationships, and I understand the spiritual components of why certain relationships came into my life, why they were a catalyst for understanding my higher purpose, why to understand my karmic relationships, like understand my life lessons. All of these things came through my relationships, and by healing my relationships, I was able to truly open my heart and therefore understand what my purpose was, which is nicely onto the third stage of ascension, which is all around your purpose, activating your soul gifts, activating your soul work, being of service to the world. Because when you've opened your heart, when you know yourself deeply, when you like have activated your spiritual self, when you are in touch with your own divinity and your spiritual self, that is when those that are on the spiritual path, and not everyone is on their spiritual path, that are here to really do some big things in the world. They're here to become the healers, the mystics, the soulpreneurs, the visionaries, the creatives of this world. But those that are, you are, right? So the third step is, once you've really healed your heart, know who you are, activated your spiritual gifts, you are ready to be of service. And for a lot of people, that is to become a soulpreneur. And it's not a solopreneur, it's a soulpreneur. Because activating your soul gift and being of service with your natural gifts and talents, like, that is your purpose. Like, by being of service to humanity, to the animal kingdom, to the plant kingdom, like whoever you're here to serve, that's where you light up. And that's when you are truly living your purpose. And that's when prosperity and wealth come in. Like, you can't have true fulfillment and true spiritual growth and ascension when you haven't completed these steps. Like, yes, you can have money, but like, if your relationships are crap, then you're not going to be happy, right? And vice versa. It's like, if you have amazing relationships but you've got no money and you don't feel like you're living your purpose, then like, are you truly fulfilled? No. And like, again, coming back to why I kept myself in the spiritual closet for so long, it was like, I had to go through my own process with my own identity and my business, and rehashing like my why and my business. And I had to go through different growth within my clients too, right? Like, it came to, again, a point when I've started to rebrand and really anchor into these 3 steps of ascension that I know I'm here to support people with and help with. It came like a real awakening point for me when I was having client sessions that were amazing. And then I started to get clients that were a lot more spiritually in tune, a lot more spiritually open. And although I could help all of my other clients that I've helped to date, the ones that came through that were so spiritually open and aware, the information that was coming through for them, the things that we shifted from other beings, other realms, galactic things, I couldn't express all of those messages to someone that wasn't as awakened as these particular clients were. And that was my real aha moment, where I'm like, oh my God, these are my people that I'm supposed to be like helping. And instead of me trying to help everyone, which is like what I started this business doing, I was like, oh, I can help everyone with all of their problems. And yeah, I can with the gifts and the tools and the techniques that I have. I can help so many people. However, like, what is the thing that really lights me up? And it's that type of person. It's that archetype of the person that is on their spiritual path, on the healer's journey, that is here to set up their own soulpreneur business, to be that visionary, psychic, mystic, whatever it is that you are here to do on this earth, and you know you have a big mission. That's my people. Those are my people. And again, it was really interesting. Another thing that I realized where I'm keeping myself in the spiritual closet, and again, something that I help my clients with, is like, where was I keeping myself small? Where was I, again, yes, one, not trying to ostracize people that I thought I could help, and the fear of kind of shifting my identity, but like, what else? Like, what else was truly blocking me from growing and truly being seen and accepting that this was my niche and this is actually what made me happy? And it was because I still had different blocks from childhood and past lives that were around me having to hide myself or having to shut down my power and my essence so other people couldn't feel or see me. Because many times when we are this radiant light as this healer or soulpreneur or mystic or psychic or whatever, even as a child, we have this just beautiful essence and energy that is just so magnetic, that when you are so sensitive, you can feel the intentions of other people. And there was lots of things that happened in my life where I felt like I had to hide myself. I had to energetically hide myself so people couldn't see and feel me because it wasn't safe. And that again happened in so many past lives of mine where I was told to stay hidden, to not truly show others my gift, my true essence, my authenticity, because it was unsafe. And this is so key for so many, again, coaches, visionaries, healers, mystics, psychics, like anyone that knows they are here to do big things in the world and potentially have their own business in some of these areas. You will have so many potential blocks from being afraid to be seen or felt because of things that have happened to you in your past and in multiple past lives, and then probably through your ancestral line as well. Because if you're drawn to mysticism and creating a career out of that, then safely say you've probably been a healer and a mystic and a psychic and all these things in multiple past lives. So it was really important for me to be able to like clear those as well, to really gain clarity on why was I holding myself back? Like, why was I watering myself down? Like, I'm all about empowering my clients and helping them to see that they are so unique, like within their business, within their life, within their relationships. There's no one else that can do what they do. There's nobody in this world that has the gifts, the abilities, the talents, the experiences that they have. And that's what they're here to share. So I was still watering myself down. And it was like until like I had all these aha moments right after each other that I was really able to shift and anchor into my core messaging, what I'm really here to do, why I'm here to do it, and who I'm really here to serve. And like if this is you, if you are building your business at the moment, if you are kind of at that crossroads, if you're a coach, a healer, a psychic, a visionary, a mystic, like all the things, a soulpreneur, if you have your own spiritual business or aspiring to build one, like you may go through this stage as well. You may go through this whole identity shift of like who you were. You may want to try and serve everyone. You may be struggling to find your niche. You may be afraid to be seen, but you don't really realize it until we go into the subconscious and access what's actually blocking you. And I just wanted to share this story because, as I said, it's been such a profound aha moment for me in a new iteration of my business that has really not only given me the confidence to move forward with all these new projects, but it's also allowed like a veil to be lifted where the right clients are able to see me and I'm able to see them, because I'm now fully accepting myself and know, like feel truly like these are my people and this is why I'm here to serve. And I feel so passionate about my why of why I'm here to serve those people and why I had to go through my own 3 stages of spiritual ascension to be downloaded the experiences, to be downloaded that this is what my mission is in the world. And it's like I've always had this like utopian belief, even since I was a kid, of like, why can't everyone be happy and love each other and do the soul work that they're here to do? Like, do the things that they're naturally gifted and brings them joy. Like, why do people have to do things that they're so miserable in? Like, what, to make money? But like, can't we all just like create a community where we are all doing the things that benefit each other and benefit the community, but doing the things that we're truly meant to be doing here? Like, I've had that vision since I was a kid, and it's really, again, coming full circle now of like why I've always felt that way. And I had to go through all of these experiences. And there's a reason that I spent 11 years in career coaching and I had my own recruitment company, because I have been training like all of this life to help people with their business, to step into their purpose, to build their career based on their natural gifts and abilities and based on their spirituality. Like, I am now a 2-time entrepreneur. I've built one successful business and I'm building another successful business. And they've been very different, and I have learned so much along the way. But I would never have been able to take that leap of faith, that step from my old business to my new spiritual business, without having to do those other steps, without having to fully awaken, to invest in so many programs, learnings, opening my psychic abilities, my energy healing abilities, all of those things to know myself at a deep level, to be able to see and heal all of my relationships that were blocking me and causing me pain, to be able to learn more about myself through those reflections in those relationships. I would never have been able to get to this point where I'm living my purpose and I'm being of service and I'm being rewarded for that, ever, if I hadn't taken these steps. And that is why I feel so passionate about helping other people that are on their spiritual journey, no matter what stage you're at, to really anchor and master those steps that they need to have true fulfillment and true prosperity in their life. Because, like, I deserve that, I want that, and I want that for you too. And together we can make it happen. If you are a soulpreneur, an aspiring current, if you've been in your coaching business, if you're a mindset coach, if you're a visionary, a creative, like mystic, however you want to coin yourself, a therapist, and you know that you're here for more, and it's like you feel stuck or you're lacking clarity, and you want to build a business of freedom, you want to live your purpose, you want to be so anchored in what you're doing because you know you're here to be of service, then I'm here to help, guys. I'm here to help. I'm building out a couple of new one-on-one programs aligning with my 3 stages to ascension. So around relationship healing, I've got my psychic development course and also my Ignite course, which is for those soulpreneurs, those that are in business, new to business, aspiring business, that know they are here to be that coach, that healer, that spiritual therapist, whatever it is. And the amazing thing is, it's like what you think that you actually are isn't what you are. Like, you are a culmination of so many things. And in this program, this one-on-one program that you'll be working with me for 3 months, like, we are going to find all of those things. We're going to reconnect you to your soul gifts. We are going to clear any blockages to being seen, getting money, like attracting clients, whatever that is that's coming up for you of why you haven't stepped into your soul aligned business or what's blocking you from growing your soul aligned business. And also to teach you the tools and techniques where you can be your own oracle, where you can fully connect to your own self and your intuition to get clarity on every single step so that you're not stuck in stress mode, so you're not stuck in fear or scarcity mode, which I know, again, and this is why this is so unique, because like the healers of the world, the coaches of this world, you are on your healer's path. And you are on your spiritual path. And that is very unique to any other person that runs a business. That is so unique to any other entrepreneur out there, because you are on this very, very individual path, and your unique gifts and what you're here to share is again, it's so unique. There's nobody else that can do what you do. So my job and working with you is to really bring those out, is to clear those blockages, bring those out, help you take those next aligned actions. And it's so fascinating to see what new gifts and abilities and guides and directions that come through in these sessions when I work with someone for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year. The transformation that happens is actually insane, and where they take their business and how they just learn to trust themselves so much. And that's half of it, right? It's like, can we fully trust ourselves? Can we fully surrender to the rhythms and flows of life? And sometimes divine timing has a lot to say when it comes to building our spiritual business. But you will get the tools and the understanding of all of that. You can connect with me on Instagram, and we can have a chat about what that looks like, where you are on your stage of business, or where you are in your ascension journey. Are you at your stage 1, your awakening, you're understanding who you are, developing your psychic and healing gifts? Are you at 2, where you are developing and healing your relationships and seeing them from a totally new viewpoint and how to develop your spiritual growth? Or are you at 3, where you're running your business, where you're about to build your business? Where are you? Yeah, I would love to know where you are in your stages, or where you are in your spiritual business. And we, Angel and I, will say goodnight. I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and sorry for the interruptions. I'll see you on the other side.